from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to each of you for being here today. Listening to your story, it hits really close to home because it sounds like this area has been through or is going through what my hometown of West Point, Georgia went through. We were once home to the textile industry. The largest employer in our area was a Fortune 500 company, and we had about 35,000 people in our area working in the textile industry. And then all of a sudden, with some folks that were educated beyond their intelligence that had been elected to office in Washington, came up with policies that destroyed our way of life there. And they passed NAFTA, and there were a series of promises about better jobs that would come and greater economic opportunity, and those promises were just simply empty promises. Never materialized. And then Washington's response was to send more checks, more government assistance, and more ideas from Washington to try to save our area. And again, it left a generation in poverty. It moved people from the middle class into poverty. And most importantly, it eroded hope in our area. And it seems like, listening to y'all today, that these same sort of broken promises are being seen here in this area. This Green New Deal of energy just seems to be destroying a way of life here. Whether it's in the cost of propane, as you mentioned, to run your business, the energy needed to harvest and process and distribute wood, the cost of energy to process your product, Mr. McDade, and clearly the impact that these policies have had on the coal industry. It just seems like that these, again, are empty promises that are backed up with more checks that come through that disincentivize work, that put people on the sideline, and they just leave a generation behind the rest of the country. So I'm sorry for what Washington has done to you, Republicans and Democrats, and it's shameful and it shouldn't happen. And that's why we're here, to understand the impact of it, but also figure our way out of it. And it sounds like one of the most important things that we can do is to get D.C. out of these policies and let American small businesses run. So with that, Ms. Bachman, first of all, I'm sure running a restaurant, you probably look over to your left and probably need to buy some of Mr. McDade's product on a more regular basis, because
together on that.
Yeah, exactly. But talk to me again about the cost of propane. I want to make sure I heard you right on that. You said it had doubled?
It has doubled since 2020 for us.
Okay, and the other energy costs that are wrapped into your lease have also gone up?
Yes, our lease has gone up. We started our lease at $2,000, and it's today at $4,500 a month.
And a big part of that is the energy cost that's associated with it. Do these same costs around propane, do they impact a lot of your customers in this area that heat their homes with propane?
Oh, I'm sure it does. I just had an employee last month borrow money off of me because she was, again, it was electricity, but she was behind $600 on her utility bill.
Wow, $600. That's impactful.
And she's a single mother of two children.
Wow. Mr. Ward, I'm sure you've heard an awful lot from the Biden administration about green energy jobs and how that's the wave of the future. How have those manifested themselves here in this area as coal jobs go away and folks are left without income and hope? Have those green energy jobs manifested themselves here in this region?
In southern West Virginia, where I'm from, I haven't seen too much green energy jobs take any jobs that we currently have.
I don't believe I'd hold my breath waiting on them. And it's a shame. It really is a shame that talk about energy policy and do it in a theoretical way, and it probably in blissful ignorance, but at the end of the day, it has an impact on families, and it's hard. Mr. Pfluger, again, talk to us about the cost of your product that I'm paying for as a consumer because of the energy cost.
Well, again, our cost of manufacturing the product, our cost of operating has gone up dramatically because of the cost of energy, because of the price of oil, really, and how that translates to all the other goods and services you have to buy, along with just the fuel to operate. Again, our prices have on those things have more than doubled since 2020.
Thank you. And listen, it just sounds like that the promises of the Green New Deal energy policies are just empty, and they're having a negative impact on folks here. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. I'd like to recognize the